momentum.
Good morning, everybody. This is Pink Shorts, EOC edition, edited special with Steve Jobs, Kara, and Mossberg. EOC, EEOC, LIN Television, LiaYAOOH series, People in Crashes Auto, Dual Enrollment, Private Industry Council, Spell Precipitation Without Peak, WitSec, x7Baynes-Richmond, Hello Selena and Bonds.
Eric was on your board.
Now the other firms.
You had a very close relationship. Can you talk about how you
talk about Google Allo.
them competing? I mean,
Well, they decided to compete with us.
Where do we put the P?
That's it.
Well, we didn't go into the search business.
Well, I want to ask you about that in a minute, but you
Add a P to
just
Allo
one
and
morning
you have
about
Apple.
Discovered they were going to compete with you.
Yeah.
Did he call you? Did he?
No, they started competing with
Hello
us.
Twitter, today's show is sponsored by the Real Tour fans.
Got more and more serious.
So how do you look at the competition now? How do you look at the different
Work
Android
with
and
us.
what you're doing?
Well, right now, if you look at the smartphone market share, the way people define smartphones is a little funny, but Nokia is still
Hello
number
Google,
one.
how are
Yeah,
you?
but
I know it's.
let's
not
talk
really-
about super smartphones. The
Well,
really advanced.
again, everybody does this differently. RIM is number 2.
Google.
We're number 3. Google's number 4.
Google's number 4.
And other is number 5.
And others number 5.
So that's where it is right now.
That's what it is right now.
They're in other
Okay. All right. At the moment,
at the moment.
At the moment.
It can change.
they're doing a.
But do you consider
We were 0 in 3 years ago.
Tonight
Okay,
on
so things can
NBC,
change.
Okay,
Blind
so those are
Spot, a
numbers, but I
museum
think
gala,
what we're trying to get at
assassin assault by the team. Meanwhile, Nas and Vila work on their co-leadership, co-producership of the news, and Jane begins to see some positive
Sex life is
aspects
pretty good these days.
of her old organization, Blind Spot on NBC. Tonight's episode, If Then.
don't ask. So
Don't ask. Law and Order Special Victims Unit tonight on NBC.
How do you do? You have a lot of
At
things
9,
incorporated
The
in maps,
Imposter.
in search on the
A man
thing.
uses
Are
a
you gonna
fake
remove them
identity.
from
Hello, Mr.
the
Jobs.
iPhone?
To lure a woman into a relationship and lives
No.
are damaged in the process.
So how do you look at that?
Barbara then changes the man with rape, charges the man with rape, but he faces an uphill battle in court.
So that's what
Law
we're
and Order
about. We're
Special
about
Victims
making
Unit
better
tonight
products.
on
And
NBC.
what I love about the consumer market that I always
That I
hated about
always-
the enterprise market
Enterprise market
is that we come up with a product.
that we come up with a
we try to
product.
tell everybody about it.
Tell
and
everybody about
every
it.
person votes for themselves.
Every
They go,
person votes for
yes
their
or
airplane.
No. And if enough of
What
them
happened
say
to the
yes,
aircraft,
we get to
Mr.
come to
Jobs?
work tomorrow. That's
Hogan.
how it works. It's really simple.
It's
Enterprise
virtual
market,
reality.
It's not so simple.
It's not so
The
simple.
people that use the products don't
The
decide
people that
for
use the
themselves.
planes.
And the people that make those decisions
Today's
sometimes
show
are
is
confused.
34/7.
So it's we're
Today is hoax exposed.
love just trying to make the
It's a
best products in
hoax,
the world for
everybody.
people and having them tell us by
Hogan.
vote with their wallets whether we're on track. or not.
Hogan.
So you're not going to remove Google from the iPhone and the iPad, but are you going
Today's
to
show is
give
sponsored by
users
Megan's Law
more prominently displayed additional
and
choices? to it?
Verizon
For instance,
Wireless.
now that
Tonight on
they are
NBC,
competitors,
Chicago PD, all cylinders firing.
We definitely
Platt
compete
is sent
with
to the
each other.
hospital after a vicious attack.
You know,
Ammonia
I
outside her
noticed
father's
their
house.
latest
Mooch
offering,
is
they're
questioned and
allowing
past
their
threats
customers to
against her
take
revisited
their
while the team
iTunes
investigates.
music onto an Android phone.
And a gruesome
which is
discovery inside the
They're
father's
helping us maybe sell more
home
music.
ups the ante in the case.
You know,
Chicago
we
PD
have
tonight on
Google
NBC.
properties on our phone. Just because we're competing with somebody doesn't
Designated survivor.
mean we have to be rude.
DS.
nice. Okay, so
Where's the
last year
V?
at our conference, we had a small search company called Siri.
Yeah.
And
Who's
Well, I don't know
DVS?
if I would describe Siri as a search company.
okay, but it's
Who's
a
the auxiliary
search-related
port?
company, and I'd like you to
I
describe.
would not. I would.
You now own them, right?
Yeah, we bought
Auxiliary.
them.
So what?
Why?
And there was a lot of speculation. Well, this company's
Bing.
kind of in the search area, and
No,
Apple
they're
has
not in the
them.
search area.
What are
don't-
they in? How would you
have-
describe it?
They're in the AI area.
Wish me luck.
So you bought them for their engineers and their patents and their knowledge about AI.
The confession on Designated Survivor, ABC tonight at 10.
Okay.
What do you want them to do for you?
The FBI's
So you're not
investigation
going
into a
to search
Capitol
business
bombing
through them or
continues.
anything like that.
Agent
No,
Hannah
no
Wells,
plans to
Fargo,
go into
starting
services.
to develop
It's
her
not
own
something we
theories
know about.
as to who's
It's not something we care
responsible.
deeply about.
Meanwhile, President
Other
Kirkman
people do it
and his
well.
staff deal with a high-level security breach of the White House. which
good.
they
I
tried to
think.
keep it secret
Again,
as Tom
go back
prepares
to
for his
pre-iPhone,
first
only
TV
3
interview
years
as
ago.
POTUS.
There was no
Designated Survivor
app
tonight on
for
ABC.
apps on phones. Phones were sold in
Phones
truly
were
walled
sold,
gardens, as you know. You
as you
railed
know.
against this. And the thought that a developer could make an app
Hello,
for
Willis
phone
Tower,
was-
Code Black on
was
CBS
unheard
tonight.
of.
Well, there were apps for the
Life and
Palm
Limb.
platform. There were some. Palm didn't operate
10
a
p.m. on
store, you're right,
CBS.
but there were apps, and
There were apps.
handfuls, yes.
companies would sell them, and you could download
There
them.
were a few handfuls.
Willis
but there
Tower
wasn't
helps a young
anything-
scooter,
there
No,
was
nothing like this.
soccer
even
player
a percent of what there is now.
Right.
It's
who was
huge now.
seriously
Okay.
injured in a bus
And
crash.
also, when you bought a phone,
In a bus
the
crash.
carrier dictated what was on that phone.
Right.
In a bus
iPhone
crash.
was the first phone where we had a new relationship with a
In
carrier.
a bus
It
crash.
said, carrier, you worry about the network.
Making a
We'll
life
worry about what's on the
altering
phone.
How are they doing
decision.
with that network
Yeah.
thing here in the U.S.?
Meanwhile, a
Well,
patient's
they're doing pretty
hesitation
well, actually.
to
In some
share
ways, and
that
they
she's
have some work to do in
transgender
other ways.
makes it difficult for the
How do you
doctors
pressure
to
them
diagnose her
when you
severe
get so many complaints
abdominal
and-
pain.
But we meet with them once a quarter. And,
Code Black tonight on
they're doing
CBS.
a lot. I mean,
Life and Limb.
remember, they're handling
They're handling
way more data
way more
traffic
traffic.
than all of their competitors
Lethal
combined.
Weapon tonight on Fox.
And so
Jane
they're having
and
troubles. And they're having
Fishkin.
troubles. Their biggest trouble right now is getting
The biggest
equipment
trouble left
out of their
now.
suppliers
their supplier.
so they can beef up these networks.
Lethal Weapon, Best
But
Buds.
They have the fastest 3G network. And I
They
think
have the
it's
fastest
it's
AT&T.
improving. I wish I could say
Improving
rapidly, but I think it's,
rapidly.
moderate rate improving.
Mass
And I
transit.
think they're going to end up with a very good,
Auto.
very fast network that is actually the most
Riggs
robust.
and
for
Murtaugh's
handling lots of
investigation
data.
of a drug
Simply because they
cartel
got there
reunites
first and they had the problem.
Murtaugh
I'm
with his former
convinced that any
TL
other network
and in other events.
had you
Riggs
put this
avoids the
many
reality of
iPhones on,
Miranda's
would have
death
had the same
by
problems.
diverting himself with
Uh,
outside
And,
vices
so-
on Murtaugh and Trish.
but I do think they
The
have
big
some issues,
struggle
and
to
it's gonna
find
work hard.
alone
Need to move to
time.
another-
Lethal
Well, that's
Weapon
right.
tonight on Fox.
You know, in the
Best
UK,
Buds.
you went to 3 carriers.
PM.
It didn't seem to cannibalize your sales.
Right.
In the U.S.,
Empire's
would there
on
be an
tonight.
advantage to be on more than one carrier?
There might be.
There might be.
Might be.
He might relate. How would you know,
The future is
Mr.
long.
Jones? You have
about
pancake
this year?
syrup issues.
How about the short
This-
term?
The short
We
term.
talk about the short term.
Yeah, I can't.
10% iOS 10 cough
Let's talk
syrup
about
at
the other
Red Eye.
thinking, because you talk about you're not going to be in a search. What is
Tonight
your
on
next
Empire,
thing?
what remains
You've been
is
here, Dee. You talked about
best
I guess a couple
of.
years ago, not really doing a phone and not doing
Cookie
a tablet,
calls
tablets.
in a
So
favor
you
for
were
Kitty,
sort of
hoping that the
different-
recording
different
of a new song with a
Right.
mega superstar will force Jamal to overcome his inability to perform. Elsewhere, trouble strikes when things don't go as planned for Andre. Hakeem faces some competition
I was calling
from
them the
Graham
Soviet
and
ministries.
Tiana's
That's right.
attention,
More
and Cookie's
colorful
relationship
phrase,
with
but,
Angelo heats up.
And you're doing
Tonight
most
on
of all-
Fox,
we found
Empire
a way
at 9.
to change that. We found a way to sell the phone.
We
that
found a way to
wanted
sell the phone
and define it the way
and
we
defined
wanted
it.
to define it. Have the control that we wanted to have
We
over
wanted
what was
to
on
have.
the phone versus the carrier controlling that. So
Criminal CEOs on
we were able to
CBS.
change the rules of the game.
No, it's
And
Criminal
that's what I'm
Minds.
excited about.
Oh, sorry. Criminal Minds on
And
CBS.
when you
Sick
were talking
day.
about it here, you didn't.
We
know
have
that
our
you could do
ammonia.
that.
No, absolutely didn't think we could. We
Didn't
had
think we
these
could.
discussions and we
We
didn't.
have these discussions.
But we were able to persuade.
But we were
the
able to
AT&T,
give
and
them
they
a lot
took
of money.
Very big leap on us.
We
I mean,
thank you,
we've never
Mr.
been in
Johns.
the handset business before. We've never been in the phone business in any way, shape, or
The
form.
headset business.
So they took a big leap on
Epidermis
us and
inflammation
decided
on
they
the
were going to
left
trust us
arm.
to do the right thing on the phone. And it's worked out very
CDMA.
well. So we were able to change the rules.
Code
of the
Division
game
Multiple Access.
in the same way that the
Criminal Minds on CBS.
But I
Sick day.
remember telling
JJ
you
is
on the
sickened
tablet
by a
was
child
that
abduction
handwriting
case
was
that
probably the
causes
slowest
painful
input
memories
method ever
to
invented.
resurface. She breaks down and
And
tells her
it-
husband
it
about the
was doomed
two
to failure.
missing children
Well,
in the case.
what we tried
Criminal
to do
Minds on
was
CBS at 9.
reimagine the tablet. In other words, I think Microsoft
Survive
did a lot
on
of
CBS.
interesting work on the tablet.
Interesting
What
work,
we've
Mr.
done
Jobs.
is not
It's not
compete with what they did.
Compete.
We reimagined it, and
Survivor
what
on
we're doing is
CBS.
completely different than what they did.
different than what they
You
did.
know, they're completely stylist
They're
based.
completely stylish.
We
Their tablet
Survivor
PC
on
that they have
CBS.
now.
For 10 years.
Right.
For 10
You
years
know,
of
and what
syrup.
we said at the very beginning was
10%.
if you need a stylus, you've already failed.
Cough syrup. Achoo.
So let's talk about tablets.
And that
Survivor on CBS.
drove everything. Their tablet PC
Their
was
tablet.
based on a PC.
Millennials versus
Right.
Had all
Generation
the
X.
expense of a PC, had the battery life of a PC,
Survivor
had the weight
on
of a PC.
CBS.
It used a PC operating system.
It used.
It really needed the precision
Why?
of the tip of an arrow of a cursor.
We love
Right.
waffles.
Well, the minute you throw a stylus
We love
out,
it.
you cannot get that precision. You have the precision of a finger, which is much
Today's show is
cruder.
sponsored by
Therefore,
Growth
you need to have
Fantour.
totally different software. So you can't use a PC operating system. And you have to bite the bullet and say, we're going to have to create this from scratch because all the PC apps won't
All the
work without being
pieces.
rewritten.
Survivor on
anyway.
CBS.
And so we
CBS, I'm
built a
sorry.
very
Millennials versus Generation
So when
X.
you
Your
built
job
this
is
OS,
recon.
This multi-touch gestural OS for fingers,
Reincarnation.
you didn't do it in a tablet right away. You did it
Would you
in
like
the
to explain
phone.
the CBS
What was
episode, please?
I mean, did you consider
Jeff
doing the tablet
Probst.
when you did the iPhone, or was it just a natural
Castaways
progression?
get
The
a chance
iPhone came
to
out, it was a big
reincarnate,
hit.
to mingle
actually,
with the enemy. Balance and
Okay.
precision are tested
Uh,
at a tough immunity challenge.
I actually started on the tablet first.
Ashley Mira. How about you?
And I had this idea of being able to
Your job
get
is
rid of the
recon.
keyboard, type on a
Reckon.
multi-touch glass display.
What nation is
And I
it?
asked our folks, could we come up with a multi-touch
Survivor.
display that we could type on, I could rest my hands on and actually type on. And about 6 months later, they called me in and showed me this prototype display.
Google Hello.
And it was amazing. And I gave it to one of our guys. This was in the early 90s.
Early
I mean,
90s.
early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
And I gave it to one of our other really brilliant
That's right, Mossberg. You live.
UI folks. And he called me back a few weeks later and he
Survivor
had
on
inertial
CBS.
scrolling working and a few other things. Now, we
And
were
a few other
thinking about
things.
building a phone
Thinking
at
about
that
building a
time.
phone.
And when I saw the
Suggestion
rubber band
aborted.
inertial
We love
scrolling
Mr.
and a few of
Jobs.
the other
Hello,
things,
good
I thought, my
morning.
God, we
Good
can build a
morning,
phone out
Steve.
of this. And I put the tablet project
that?
on the shelf because the phone was more important.
Who was
And
that?
we went and took the next several years and did the iPhone.
So
Then
And when we got our
Who was this sitting next to us?
wind back and thought we could take on something next,
Are you Steve?
pulled the tablet off the shelf, took everything we learned from the phone,
Are
went
you
back to
back?
work on the tablet.
So where does the tablet go from here?
Steve sitting with
One
us
of
in the
many
back
things
seat.
People think it's going to do is save journalism. That was,
Survivor
there was
on
there's a lot of
CBS. Your
stories about
job
you
is
going to visit
recon.
publishers and talking
Nation.
about it being the hope of journalism. Do you consider that a goal of yours or anything that's important to you? Or is it just that
A
magazines
goal.
look real pretty on it?
Speechless tonight on ABC.
Well, we have a lot of goals with it.
Bonfire.
One of my beliefs very strongly
Very
is
strongly.
that any democracy
Any
depends
democracy and
on a
republic.
free, healthy
Expose and
press.
approve.
And so when I think of the most
The
important
use of your
journalistic
lens on the
endeavors
communication is in
in this
agreement
country, I think of
of identical
like-
evidence.
the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and publications like that.
Publications
And,
like Pink Shorts.
we all know what's happening.
We all
to the
know what's
economics of
happening.
those businesses,
I'm Geico.
and some of them are in real trouble.
Real trouble.
So even more
So-
than magazines, I think some of these newspapers,
Some of these
the
newspapers.
news gathering and editorial
News
organization
gathering and
is really
editorials.
important. I don't want to see us descend into
I don't
a
want to
nation
see
of
us
bloggers
descend.
myself. I think we need editorial more
Editorial.
than ever right now.
It changes.
So
Thank you, LIN Television and EOC. It spells my
to
code.
help the New York Times and the Washington Post, the Wall
Can
Street
Mr.
Journal,
Jobs
and other,
confirm the code?
news gathering organizations
Iowa 10 syrup.
find new ways of
Theraflu.
expression
Robitussin.
so that they can afford to
Rite
get
Aid.
paid, so they can afford to keep their
Yeah,
news
Cade, add a
gathering
C.
editorial operations intact.
You want us to get it from Cade?
Do you actually think it'll work? I mean, is this something?
Yeah, do you think it'll work, Mr.
think
Jobs?
people will move to reading? Have you moved yourself?
Well, we've all moved to reading our
Yeah,
news.
10%
That's
all.
why these newspapers are in dire
10%
straits.
all at Rite Aid.
what we have to
What
do
we have to do
is figure out a way to
figure out a way.
get people to start.
We have a code as of yesterday,
this
Mr. Jobs.
hard-earned content, and so this provides us a potential
And
opportunity.
epidermis inflammation
to
on our
provide
wrist.
more value than just a web page,
An Apple
and
Watch.
to start to charge a little bit for that. Now, what I
Are they charging to make
is
this information?
that I don't know what's going to work.
I don't know
But
what's
I can
going to
tell
work.
you, as one of the largest sellers
Can
of
Stevie give us
content
a
on the internet
prescription
to date,
on our code?
the biggest lesson Apple's
Stevie,
learned
how
is
do we
price
get well?
aggressively and go for volume. And that's worked for us. And every time we
How do
have
we get
done
well,
that,
Mr. Jobs?
we've seen more attenuated success. So
Chicken noodle
I'm
soup?
trying
What
to
else
get
should we
folks
have?
to take more aggressive postures than
Hot liquids.
they
What else?
charge traditionally for print, because they don't have the expenses of printing, they don't have the expenses of
How do we take
delivery,
care of ourselves with this code?
and
The code.
to charge a reasonable
charge.
price and go for volume.
Go
Because
for
I think people are willing
volume.
to pay for content.
Willing to pay for
I
content.
believed it in music.
I believe it in
I
music.
believe it in media. And
I believe it in media.
news content.
But in
We
books,
can't discuss that
Yes.
with you.
and I'm no expert on this agency model and all the stuff that's going on.
This
although
is Geico.
colleagues at the Journal have certainly written about
This
it.
is about
very
Geico and
well.
Mr. Jobs.
But it looks like you're
How do we
entering into
cure
the
my
book and
code?
actually force the prices up, other than for new like bestsellers where there's a lot of competition. So
Not a competition.
isn't that opposite of what you just said of
Opposite.
trying to price more aggressively? I mean, the typical book is
Is it
up
right or
toward
wrong? What, how do you,
$14.99, and Amazon had been kind of holding it.
is it right or wrong?
$9.99, right?
Where do we go?
Yeah. It's complicated.
There flew the
The market right now
now.
is such that it is set up to be
Can you
far
explain
more
the
responsive
Hogan flight
to
conspiracy
consumer
hoax?
demand for what the prices need to be than it was
It was a
6 months
hoax.
ago.
Thank you, Mr. Jobs.
way more responsive.
Way
So
more.
we may see prices go up a
What's
little bit,
Selena and Bones?
but if consumers want the prices to be less,
Call 844
they will be
2020.
far more responsive to those signals than they were going to
Than
be
they were
because
going
the structure
to.
6 months ago. Because the structure,
Because the
of
structure,
how the publishers are
how the
approaching
publisher, audio
this
experience,
has
11
changed
song.
dramatically.
So let's talk more broadly about tablets. A
What
second
is
ago,
this
you said
about?
you have a lot of plans for tablets or thoughts about what tablets could be.
Are
And
we
when you
looking
did
at
your
the future?
presentation on the iPad, you said it's like, here's your phone,
Here's your phone.
your laptop,
Laptop.
here's this third category. And
Third
if it's
category.
not better than a netbook, if it's not
Virtual
of
reality.
value to people,
headsets.
it's not going to succeed. And
Why do we have a code?
in my own review, I was, I liked it. I was
a
favorable. I said
VR.
it had a chance to really change things.
Virtual
But I also
reality.
said people have to feel like it's not an
People
extra
have to
thing to
feel.
carry. They have to feel like it's enough of the time going to
Virtual
replace
reality.
enough of the things they do on their laptop, not necessarily 100%.
Ammonia.
Is the tablet going to be eventually replace the laptop, do you think? There are a lot of people who say, well, you'll never do content creation on it, for instance. Talk about what you think, where it's going. Not just the iPad,
Where's
but
it
the tablet
going?
itself as a form factor.
Born actors. Today's show is sponsored by
I'm trying
our
to
real
think of
tour.
we were an agrarian
We were in
nation,
an
all cars were
in
trucks,
the agriculture
because that's what you needed.
because that's what you
on the
needed,
farm.
food.
But as
But
as vehicles started
as
to be
vehicles
used in the
started
urban
to get
centers,
auto,
and America
immune.
started to move into those urban and then
Today's show
suburban
is sponsored
centers,
by Nicole,
cars got more popular. And
EOC, and LIN
innovations like
television
automatic transmission and power steering and things
Power
that you wouldn't
steering.
care about in a truck as much,
as much.
started to become
We have
paramount
a
in
privacy
cars.
shop.
And
Hello.
now, probably
Deep
I don't know what the
Horizon.
statistics are, maybe 1 out of every 25 vehicles,
Steve, do
30
you have a
vehicles is a
code?
truck, where it used to be 100%.
Have some Rite Aid cough syrup, Mr. John.
PCs are going to be like trucks.
10%.
They're
iOS.
still going to be around. They're still going to have a lot of value,
Maple
but they're
syrup.
going to be used by 1 out of
Waffles.
X people.
Lego my
And when you
Echo.
say PC, just so I'm clear, it's not PC versus Mac. You mean
I mean, personal
Put your weapon down,
computers.
Mr.
and you're
Flash.
including
Go.
laptops and desktops.
Good
Okay.
Lord.
And,
Mr. Go,
and this
put that down.
transformation is going to
Please.
make some people uneasy. People from the PC world, like you and me,
He's got a golf club in his hand.
make us uneasy. Because
Because
PC's taken us a long
PC's
way.
taking us a long way.
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
But
It's a concussion.
and we like to talk about the post-PC
It's a
era, but
concussion.
when it really
Oh my
starts to
God.
happen, I think it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable
For a
to
lot
have
of
a golf club on your
And
head.
because it's change, and a lot of vested interests are
A
going to
lot of vested
change, and
interests.
it's going to be different.
It's going to be different.
So I think that we're embarked on
Mister,
that.
put your golf club down, please.
Is it the iPad? Who knows? Will it
You
happen
can't have
next
my
year, or
Samsung device.
5 years from now, or 7 years from now? Who knows?
He wants
But
my
I think
Samsung.
we're
Well,
heading
you
in
don't
that
really think
direction.
it's going to happen next year, right? I mean, it's a longer process than that, isn't it?
Sure.
And what do you imagine when you talk about
He wants
the
a hole-in-one,
power
my
transmission and
Samsung.
windshield wiper, like intermittent windshield wipers? Are there some things you're seeing now that you think will from right now?
Tiger
when the
Woods, you
iPad
can't have my
started?
phone.
Do you see anything emerging as important?
Eden Woods,
People-
you can't have it.
Laugh at me because I have used the phrase magical
used the
to
phrase
describe
magical.
the iPad.
Yes, they do.
And but it's what I really
But
think.
it's what I really
and
think.
there's something magical
There's
about
something magical.
it. It's like
It's like
you have a much
you
more
have a
direct
much direct,
and intimate
intimate
relationship with the
with
internet
Melendez.
and media,
Media,
your apps, your content.
media, the apps,
It's
contact.
Like something's
It's like something's
some intermediate
some
thing has been
intermediate
removed
thing.
and stripped
Move.
away.
Well, the keyboard.
You
You
make
know, like
us
that
move.
Claritin commercial
Clarity
where
commercial.
they strip away the film.
Strip away the
Yeah,
film.
It's like that.
Okay.
It's like that.
And it's, is it the direct
Steve Jobs
action?
makes us
Is it
too.
the fact that you can move it all around? Is it
Move
the
it all
fact
around.
that you have no cables,
No
10-hour
cables.
battery life? I don't
Spectrum
know. It's all
cable.
these things plus other things which
Phantom
I don't
frames.
understand yet. But there's
But
something
there's
about
something
it that's
about
magical.
magical.
And I think
I think
we are just
pancake
scratching the
syrup is
surface on the
made.
kind of apps we can build for
Steve
it.
Jobs, why would we want
I
pancake
think
syrup
one
today?
can create a lot of content on a tablet.
Why?
Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
What do you, now you shipped it,
Why would we want the right
but
syrup?
coincidentally, or the day you shipped it, you also announced iWork
Uber Lyft Friday.
redone for touch.
Sure.
$10 a piece.
Sure.
Those are content creation.
They are.
At
They
least
are.
editing, but that you can create from
Satisfaction
scratch
guaranteed.
there. There are a few other companies I noticed today. I got a press release that one of the documents to go, which has been around a long time on phones, is now on
Satisfaction
an
guaranteed.
iPad, and it can do, or it's about to be out on the iPad, and it can do Word docs.
Hello,
Excel,
Dusenfo.
PowerPoint, whatever.
Non podé.
But there are a lot of people who don't believe
Sample
that
sub.
this class of devices, because of
It's
the
a
typing and
sample
all that,
sub.
is right for content creation.
Uh-huh.
You obviously seem to disagree, and I'd just love for you to talk about that a little bit.
Talk about the syrups, please. Pancakes, pancreas. Give us an exclusive.
Yeah. Why? I guess why wouldn't they be is the question.
Why wouldn't they be? Is the question.
You could say when I'm going to write that
Our body says a lot about us.
5-page analyst report,
Analyst report.
I want to use my
You know, I
Bluetooth
want to use my
keyboard,
Bluetooth cable.
but that's
But
1% of the time I'm
my
using
body
it.
says
So
it for me.
I still get the benefits
I still get
the
the
other
benefits.
99% of the time.
99%.
If you would say, well, the software
you
is
would
not
say-
powerful enough, that's just a matter of time.
That's just a matter of time.
So
Warner,
it can't be
Spectrum,
that the software is not powerful
Data
enough, 'cause that can
Frankie,
get
Twin
fixed over
Towers,
time.
World Trade.
So I think your vision
So I
would
think
have
your
to be
visual.
fairly short
Short.
to say that
Pink
these
shorts
things
for
can't,
today's show.
over
We
time,
want to thank Mr.
grow
Jobs
into
for
tools
reincarnating
that
with
do
us today.
many things.
Such as, give us an example of what you would imagine.
And thank you,
would be
Survivor on CBS, Jeff
Uh,
Probst.
Well, obviously the productivity
Thank
stuff,
you, Jeff
but
and Steve Jobs,
you know,
for reincarnating with us today.
things like editing video, things like
Thank you, Pink Shorts
graphic
34
arts,
and EOC 7.
things like
It
music.
was a hoax.
You can imagine all of these content creation things.
Yeah, all these
on
continental
such
flights.
devices.
Does some of that depend on more powerful processors?
Thank you for your
and so forth?
exclusive, everybody.
Sure.
We'll talk to you on the re-air. This
Yeah.
has been a
More
news
time
program.
takes care of lots of good stuff.
Do you
EOC.
imagine it being more flexible? Do
Thank you,
see
Cara.
yourself putting out
And Mossberg.
iPad
Have a
is
wonderful
not
day.
a hard glass
This
surface?
has been
We don't have
Geico.
the technology